another time we are back here at the Velvet Vibes podcast, your favorite podcast in the motherfucking world, as we always tell you. And we have here a special guest, the good old Amanda from MVP Vibe. Talk to him.
Hi, so glad to be here. Thank you for allowing me to come on today.
Indeed. It's not your first rodeo, but for y'all who have not experienced or heard of it, or if maybe if you even missed the last interview, we gonna act like it's the first time.
Okay.
Let's get it. First off, for anybody that's tuned in, if you're watching on YouTube, you might see the logo behind her, or if you're listening to the audio version on Spotify and etc., any streaming platform, you may wonder the same thing we're about to ask her. What is MVP Vibe? Enlighten us.
Yes. MVP stands for musicians, vocalists, and poets. And so it is a social media platform for these independent artists and their fans. And so we create a unique space for them to grow their fan base as well as earn tips, which is money.
Indeed. So how y'all come up with the MVP brand? What made you know this door was open?
Well, a few years ago, we've been working on this project. Actually, next month will be our 3-year anniversary. So we were working on creating a space locally here in Texas. And so we like the open mic, the whole, ambiance, the vibe that's created when you're in that live space. Well, we didn't want to limit it to just this geographical region. So we talked about it and said, why don't we make it a social platform? There isn't really a space that's carved out for these independent artists with so much talent, like allow them to share it with the world instead of having to sift through so much other stuff that's inside of other social media platforms. And on top of that, why is it that it's only just likes that's given, or, you have to have so many streams or so many views before you get to really monetize? Why not make it, as like a street performer? When you walk up to a street performer and you like what they're playing, you give them some money right then and there. So why not have that in a virtual space?
So how does that part work? The tips, like is it, do you take a certain percentage out, and how do they receive it?
So it's through PayPal. So it's a trusted source that handles the transaction. So if I say, hey, I want to tip this artist, I like what they're doing, here's $5. It's actually processed from PayPal to PayPal. Okay. So it will code, yeah. So but we do receive a percentage of those tips, and it's a small percentage. I think it's anywhere from 5 to 10%. So
that's not bad.
Yeah. So the artist walks away with like $4.80 something from that transaction. So yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Have y'all seen some success with that, or any artists seeing success with that?
Yes. And so we have right now certain artists that show up often because they are frequently listened to or they're in the top spots. We have right now where we're featuring artists as well. So we're helping promote those artists inside the site as well as in our social media platform, saying, hey, we're featuring these artists. They're actually inside our platform. Come check them out. So so we're excited about that as well.
No, that's actually dope, because that's one of the things that pretty much all artists struggle with in the beginning, is making it profitable, so super salute on that. I gotta ask you this, because now I will say you guys are the only ones that I'm familiar with that is in this space. However, I'm sure there's someone else in the space. Why would an artist use your platform opposed to just journeying alone and figuring it out themselves, or using a different platform that's similar?
Well, one, our platform is really built with the artist in mind. And so we really cater to what the artist is looking for. So we are constantly receiving feedback. We have direct connection with a lot of the artists. We really want to make this a tool for them to be successful. And we really feel like, it's a brand that can be, like it could be their voice, or it could be a space that they grow and they develop their career. Other platforms may offer some support, but not the way we're really getting behind the artists and actually pushing and supporting them along the way in their career. A lot of those other ones are based on popularity inside of the platform, where we're really focusing in on the actual content and the performances and their artistic expression itself.
Okay. And how do you manage to put full time and effort into the artist?
Um, well, we how do we manage it?
Yeah, because
Uh,
I'm sure it gets crazy from time to time.
I mean, we're a small team. We wear multiple hats. We try to create tools that can help, like, how-to videos to say, hey, here's how to sign up, here's how to upload your content. We new artists, we try to work with them to help them get on the site and get their content on the platform.
Mhm.
We try to feature as many artists as we can. We're starting to do artist interviews as well. That's going to be housed inside the site. So it's constant. Hopefully, we're going to be creating our brand ambassador program. So that
There
will
you
help
go.
get some more. So looking for brand ambassadors, by the way,
There you
um,
go.
help get some more support for those artists. But I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the social platforms that exist, artists have to be marketing experts. And so we're really eliminating some of those barriers to help them start to put their content out and get the attention or get that momentum without having to be a marketing expert and know which hashtags to use and things like that.
And you are from what I understand, you've gone to school for this, right? Marketing and things.
Yes, I have my MBA in marketing. So
Come
yeah.
on. Come on, we have to make that clear. See, I don't want them to think, this just somebody that air quotes is gonna promote you. They're gonna promote you.
We're doing our best. Yeah.
Now that's dope because that's something that a lot of people struggle with, promoting anything, whether it's, like you said, you guys doing music and the poetry side or anything in the artistic form. Some people just think, hey, you just post it and there you go. But it's a
Yeah.
lot more to it.
Yeah.
Does I'm sure the artist helps, with what they're posting as well. But how do you guys manage how much time you put in the artist and how you promote the artist versus the platform itself? Is it the same energy, or is it, you do something, or is it just works differently how you're promoting the platform versus the artist?
Um, I think it's a combination of both because we're building brand awareness at the same time.
Hmm.
But I think it's going to evolve and take a life of its own because the product is really the artist. When people show up to MVP Vibe, is really to see what content is there, who's there, right? Like what new poet is on the platform, or what's being posted this week. So it's really about the artist, right? And so
Yes.
we want to make sure that that is still in the forefront because it is a tool for them as a virtual stage. And so we do promote to artists. We want to partner with them and work with them and help them, use it as a tool. But we also, we're starting to create our fan zone. We're really starting to get those fans excited about being on there. And then there's also another piece that we're starting to build on, which is going to be the business part of it, or the business space.
Come on, talk that truth.
So great support from all those resources that independent artists need and they're looking for, and they're really ready to collaborate with certain businesses that may be out there in their industry. So we're going to be working on that portion of it as well.
Are you guys with of course everybody know what's going on with COVID and thing, are you guys seeing an increase in as far as how many artists are? Is it because it kind of works both ways in my experience? Some there's a lot of new artists popping up because they got the time, and there's a lot of people that they like, oh, I don't, I'm just gonna watch Netflix and this.
Well, so when COVID hit,
Mm,
we already wanted to create a virtual space or a stage for artists to be able to perform. And we were like, we didn't have it quite ready yet. And so
mhm.
we were like, let's go ahead and get, through some of these projects and get it ready to launch. And
Okay.
so it's exactly what artists need for performing and live, like that space that everyone is looking for those virtual performances. And so we're definitely trying to work, from a safe space. We want to make sure everybody's
Facts.
staying safe. So um, that is something that, unfortunately, yeah, we're trying to work around it just like everyone else. But
Yeah.
we definitely want to make sure we get out there and talk to those people who are looking for this new stage or this new space that they're looking to create in.
Facts. Is on y'all's end, because like the artists, how I said they're popping up. Do you feel that is it giving you more time to focus on the brand, or is it hard to manage? I know it takes, you have to be, you have to be inspired to keep it up. And, vice versa, you might be like, well, I got some time, I'm gonna just chill. Like, how to keep yourself motivated?
No, we feel like, man, it's like our dream of creating this is connected to other people's dreams. And that's like, we keep that going. And I know we heard it from another person that said that inspires us. And so every day we wake up, we're grinding hard to make sure we continue to bring this. And we talk about building it brick by brick. We take it day by day. We keep pushing. And we're like, okay, COVID hit. It doesn't stop, the things that need to be developed. It doesn't stop. Are we getting this ready for press releases? Are we working on the next promotion? Are we working on the next relationship with this next artist? Like, we barely sleep. So the grind has not changed since COVID came. I guess it feels like it's kicked into gear even more. So that's how we feel. Yeah. Indeed.
How does being business owners and being married, how does that part work?
My co-founder is my partner in crime, Eddie. So yes, being business owner, we definitely have to make sure when we're talking business, right? Mm-hmm. We do try to have some space where we're like, okay, this is our safe space where we may say, okay, I just need a moment. Thanks. And that's when we don't talk, about business. We try to relax or try to take a few minutes to just do something fun. But, yeah, we definitely try to keep it separate, but it's often we'll be sitting at dinner and we'll be talking about the business. And we're like, okay, maybe I just need a minute to decompress. But yeah, but I wouldn't choose another business partner in the world. He's a phenomenal partner.
No, you guys did that right. Y'all doing it right. And actually, I commend you kind of being ahead of it. Like, I know COVID affects everybody in business to some degree, but for you guys starting in a virtual space, it doesn't hit as hard as it hits some of the physical companies. So you're able to still, operate, so super salute. You're ahead of the game. Some people, it hurts some people a little bit worse. And I see you guys still making posts. Do you handle the Instagram and who's doing that part?
No, we have marketing people. Okay. Well, we have a team, so everybody wears different hats. I personally don't physically post something, but it doesn't mean I don't have an influence or sorry about that.
Your answer is correct.
I know, I'm watch it goes off while I'm in this. But yeah, but we are a team, so everything is all managed. We have our checks and balances and what's been queued up, what artists are we featuring, what's going to be put out, goes through a list of series of, checks and balances before things are posted. But yes, I do see all the posts.
And indeed. Well, that's cool that you got a team already, because that's another thing that's hard for anybody coming up in a similar space. Because you, like you said, wearing numerous hats, you're like, oh, I got to do the social media. I got to do this. I got to do that. And that's why I asked about the question about how do y'all manage your time? Because it's easy to get caught up in, oh, we're going to watch a movie. And then it's like, oh, why are you on your phone? It's like, oh, this is about an artist.
I think we're watching movies and still doing stuff. It never stops. And yeah, because it's a social platform. So if we, in 2:00 in the morning, something isn't working correctly, we're trying to communicate with the developer to say, hey, we realize that, 10 p.m., something's not working. So it never stops. Yeah.
And so it's a good thing. Y'all must be beyond it's 2:00 while you're on your phone. What's, what you're doing over there. Y'all beyond.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Or I'll wake up and be like, everything okay? Is the site good? Okay. Yeah.
Facts. Now, you mentioned a little bit about y'all been doing interviews. I have seen that. Have y'all ever considered stepping into the podcasting space? Because I kind of could picture that.
We've been asked that before. And it's something we're considering. But I think right now we're really focusing on, what's in scope right now, because we really want to make sure it's a quality experience for everyone. And so we will definitely look at expanding out into other avenues as we continue to grow.
Okay, cool. I gotta ask you this, and this question goes for you and your husband. I know he's not here, but this probably makes a lot of sense. With so much involvement with the artists, do you find yourself not just helping the artist out and promoting the artist. Do you ever find yourself like, hold on, I'm going to throw this on my playlist?
Oh yes. Yes, we do. And it's kind of interesting. Yeah, we are fans of some of the artists, but we try to keep it professional because we want to make sure we're staying as objective as possible as we work with everyone. But we are fans of some of the artists. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't want to make anybody mad.
No, that's all good. It's all good. I wasn't even gonna go there, but I kind of figured that, hearing it, you just be like, oh, let's put this out. And then you're like, hold on, what's that? What's his name? Or what's her name? Let's throw that in the playlist.
And you can create your own playlist on MVP Vibe as well. So there are some artists in my playlist that yeah.
Oh, that's dope. So, and can you stream right from the MVP? And it's an app. It's on Apple. Is it on Android as well?
Yes, it is live on both iOS and Android.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Now, and then see, that's the part that I think is probably interesting, because I know I'm not doing the app thing just yet, but I have considered it, and I know it is something that you have to stay on. Oh, there's an issue today, and like, do y'all have someone that runs the app or personally, or is it like someone online, or like, how do y'all manage that?
We run the app.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Black owned business.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we run it, we test it, we are in every corner of it. We know about the hidden features, the glitches, the highs, the lows. Yeah, we know ins and outs. Yes.
And I know you're good with the marketing. Is that the portion that your husband does, like the tech part, or is it kind of a little both?
Both of us. We've had to really dive headfirst into understanding tech a lot more, just because we understood the concept of it. We both had some understanding of it, but actually really having to get, the right type of engineers to work on it and making sure that we understood their skill level, because as they keep fixing things, how quickly, will these things be available to be pushed live? And yeah, well, we both wear that hat. We both equally partner on that.
I'm sure, and I think this is an obvious thing, but I'm sure y'all spend a lot of time, because this is a space that you can't know everything, but you have to be willing to learn everything. So I'm sure y'all spend a lot of time on YouTube and how to do this and how to do that. How much time?
Yeah, a lot of stuff is, we definitely are picking each other's brains and trying to learn as much as we possibly can. It's been a journey. I'm sure we're still like on our journey, but it has been a process. Yes.
Indeed. Are you familiar with Udemy.com?
I'm not. I don't think so.
That's something that you guys may want to check out too. It's kind of like just how YouTube, there's information there. It's basically courses that you can take, and a lot of times it's like $10 and stuff like that, $15, and it's basically like a little PowerPoint or something that people put together. And it has videos, it has things that you can download. So a lot of times, like, just say if you say, hey, I want to start a podcast, somebody will put a course on there how to start a podcast. So it's not just stuff random. Like, you can go in there and it's like how to fix the toilet, and somebody has a class on it.
Oh my goodness.
And it's pretty dope. I'll just throw it out there. I'm not affiliated with them, but udemy.com. I went on there, and as you've seen, I produce as well, and I've done things on there and learned with some camera work and things like that. So that's a good gym for y'all out there. But of course, let's always check YouTube, because it's always fun to do it for free. But if you have to pay, there's a way to do it without having to, $100, however much is college gonna hit you up.
Nice. Thank you. Yes. Well, always, I'm always definitely about growing and learning more. So yeah.
There you go. Y'all, have you seen, I know we talked about, and you don't got to throw no names out, you enjoying some of the music. Have you seen any artists that you think have the potential to blow in San Antonio, or, well, let's just say San Antonio, because I'm sure, because y'all do deal with artists outside of Texas too, right?
It's nationwide.
Okay. Super.
Ooh, that's hard to say. Cause then, I'm scared to say, because we have like a list of artists that are lined up that we're going to be dropping interviews for this month. And so
Sound like you know somebody gonna blow, but
I hate to call out just one person because then they're gonna be like, wait, what about me? And so, but I think there's a lot of great talent. Let me just say that. There's a lot of great talent in San Antonio, in Texas. There's so much talent here. And I was just like, obviously I'm not from Texas, but when I moved here, I was like, wow, like there's a lot of just raw talent. And so that's really what, really inspired us to really create this space to get out so much talent in this independent space out into the world. So I don't want to call out any one group.
We'll just call it this: yes or no. So you have seen somebody, and that way we're not gonna throw no. Okay, cool. So no, that's nice to know. On the flip side, being that you mentioned you're not from here, for those that may have missed the fact that you said it's nationwide, have you ever got any flack from back home for people like, oh, you made a space for Texas? Why you didn't,
Because this is space for everywhere. It's a space for every state, and it's actually live across multiple countries. But we really started promoting it inside of Texas because before COVID, we were physically going to places and meeting people and talking to people and obviously doing a lot of grassroots. But now due to COVID, we've had to really convert that to reaching out to people and talking to people virtually. So it's slightly different, but it is available nationwide for sure. So if they are people back home in Mississippi, that's all that please, it's definitely a space for artists. It's for independent artists to come display their talent and show the world. So I encourage them to join, no matter what genre, no matter what, what artistic expression they have as far as in that independent space.
Facts.
That's what we're looking for.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you can make playlists, and so with the playlist you can listen right from the app, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Go ahead.
And I was gonna say, so artists can actually upload content directly from like their phone or their computer, or they can import it from YouTube, Vimeo, and SoundCloud. So it could be a video, it could be an MP3, it could just be, audio from SoundCloud, but it'll roll through just like a playlist. I queue it up and I can choose my favorite. So I can have my own playlist, and as I'm working, my playlist is going through those independent artists, that list that they have. Yeah.
That's dope. And with that being said, I know I need to go ahead and press the download button on this app because there's a lot of artists that are already available on Spotify and other streaming platforms, but there are sometimes, which I'm sure you've been there, you hear an artist, and I guess you don't have to deal with it in this way, having the platform, but it's like, oh man, I like this song. I go over to Spotify, I'm like, what? And like, I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, I'm not real fond of SoundCloud. I'll use it, but I'm like, man, I wish it was like a quicker place that I could use it. And with MVP Vibe, it makes me actually want to go ahead and download that because I ain't gonna have this problem no more.
And if there's an artist that you're interested in seeing on there, that you're like, hey, you need to come check this out. The really cool thing about it is that even if they are importing it from YouTube, Vimeo, or SoundCloud, as it rotates and plays on our platform, they still get credit for it on the original source. So
if they're listening on your platform and it's coming from YouTube, they will get a stream.
Yep.
Oh man.
And on top of that, as long as they have their they have it under their performance, they can still receive a tip for it.
Oh yeah, that's dope. Come on now. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. No, that's dope. That's dope because a lot of that'll be a lot of artists' concern if it's like, why should we go on your platform when over here I'm gonna get my streams? You ain't gonna miss the stream. You got the platform and it has a lot of content. And I saw like you said, the interviews, there's videos and things like that. So what a lot of people would want to know before they press the download button, do they need to hold their debit card out, and how bad are we going to hit them when they press download?
Well, here's the great news. So I have exciting news for artists, and we've decided to remove the artist subscriptions. So, because why not, right? This community has already been hit really, really hard by COVID, and I always think about those struggling artists trying to get their talent, like get their content out. And so we made the executive decision to go ahead and make it free for artists. So It should be available live, I know, for the apps. And then if you go into the website, we should be pushing that out here this week. So breaking news,
Cool,
artists are
cool.
now free.
No, that's
So,
dope.
and they can reach out to us if they have any questions, but they should be able to download the app, sign up as an artist, go through the process, and get everything set up without having to put out any credit cards or anything. Yeah.
No, I have to salute you there, because with that being said, that more proves your original point that you guys are for the artist itself. I have to ask this on that token as well. You don't have to give us your sauce, but how does that affect you? With you saying, okay, cool, it's free now. Are you guys able to still, the wheels are turning, or is it like, ooh, this is good for them and not good for us?
I mean, I think that it's an investment as to into the brand and what we're trying to do. And if I'm saying it's good for us or good for them, I think that if we stay true to what we're really trying to do, then that's where we will be able to continue to grow. There's more things coming, and we would like to offer more features and things like that. So we will continue to have opportunities to grow and generate revenue. But for now, we really see, if we're sticking to artists are, this is a tool built for artists, then we want to make sure we stick true to that. Yeah.
Man, that's dope. The thing about it, and like I said, I dabble in a little music myself, but that, with this being said, it makes you actually want to use it, because we are for the people, we are for the artists, and you're like, what's your angle? And the way you described it, it's clear that it's for the artist. Of course, it is a business, so you have to win somewhere on your end, but it doesn't seem like you're getting used, or you're just like, yeah, come over here, and so I like the way you guys operate.
Before I forget, the artists own their content, so we do not take any ownership for their content. I forgot to say that earlier.
Yeah, no, that's an important thing to throw out there.
Yeah,
because and a lot of people who are not in the music space, it's not just Atlantic Records, Def Jams. There are smaller labels that people are signed to, and a lot of times it's like, well, I don't know, can you do this and that? Are they going to own your stuff? So that's a very key important thing to put out there, because things like that could kind of stray people away, especially people that's not hip to what's going on.
And I'm just going to say this, I'm not going to say any labels, but we're looking to partner with independent labels as well, because we do see some opportunities for partnership as we move forward. So more to come there. So I'm just throwing out a couple of things that may start to spark some ideas with everyone. But yes.
Amen. And the church say amen. And if you guys are looking for some producers, we'll sprinkle some lemon pepper on them beats for them. No, everything you made, everything super clear. If you are an artist and you're listening, this is the sauce. Somebody's clicking download as we speak. Somebody's saying, what was that platform again? We can't leave without you saying, I think we know, but what's the website? Is there any other information they need to know? Is there merch? Is it shout outs? This is the time for you to say what needs to be said, what didn't get touched on. Speak on it.
So yes, first off, I'd like to shout out my husband, Eddie. So thank you for all your hard work. Yes, I definitely got to shout him out. As
Amen.
well as Ida. So Ida's been working really hard as well. She's our marketing director. So she's been doing a phenomenal job in the background. As well as all the friends and family that they've been supporting us from the beginning. This has been a long process, and I just want to thank everybody for all their love and support. As far as where everyone, artists and fans and businesses, if they're interested, can find us, is at mvpvibe.com. So we are also available in the App Store and iOS and Android. You can also find us on Instagram at MVP_vibe. That's IG. I think that's Twitter as well. And we're also on LinkedIn. So we're everywhere for the most part. Not everywhere, but we're in most social media platforms. But so definitely check us out. We tend to use our social media platforms, IG, Facebook, Twitter, as a sort of smaller version of what happens inside of our social media. So we're pushing out stuff around artist content, promoting those artists, because it's really what we're trying to do is help them grow their fan base as well, and bring attention to the site. So.
Facts. Super salute on all that info. Like I said, it's a pleasure having you on the show again. I'm glad this time we got some super clarity. We got video even. So, we got to go ahead and give that shimmy for MVP Vibe. I'm actually got the download is about to happen as we speak. Yeah, we finna
Right.
make that happen.
All of our iPhone people out there in the world, yeah, we always joke about what do you want, an Android or iPhone?
Which life do you live?
So I say, get the app, download it. Yes.
Yeah, I got it downloading right now. We are living the Android life. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but I live Android Mafia over here. No, like I said, it's a pleasure having you on. Glad the husband got a shout out first because that's how it's supposed to go. MVP Vibe, and here with the Velvet Vibes, it's definitely a vibe. We're out this thing, like a wise man said, smile, but don't let the world see, especially in 2020. Keep it to yourself. Y'all be sweet.
Thank you.